Here we go. Hello, this is CB Ultra 768, and we are back with Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. And last time, we basically had our first part of the final trial, which was we were basically hearing out Ron Delight's testimony to try to prove that he wasn't a murderer. And at first, it was not looking good because he said, "Oh, I went to KB security dressed as Mass to Mass," and like Phoenix was like, "Oh God, this is not looking good." But then we managed to turn it around because of the whole buzzer thing. Because apparently the buzzer was hit at 1:02 a.m. So it was like, why was the buzzer sounded at that time? Like, if the buzzer was like going off before like 1:02 or something like that, or no, they're saying like, since the buzzer went off, shouldn't he have just ran away? And then he tried to say, oh, and then Godot tried to say, oh, Kane Bullard must have pushed it. And he's like, no, there's no fingerprints. And Mass wears gloves. And then we brought it back to where Ron Delight is being framed. And they're like, who did it? And it's like, Detective Atemy. It turns out this is planned the entire time. He wanted to go to jail for just larceny, so he wouldn't go to jail for the serious crime of murdering Kane Bullock. So now we have to prove that he was the one that killed Kane Bullock. So without further ado, let's get to this liar's testimony. I was stealing the urn as Master Mass, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turns out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mass was the same time as the murder. Excuse me. Okay. It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this photo as well. Even the great Master Mass cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Hold it! Unfortunately, Mr. Atemy, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Okay. So I read, we have to press both his second and fourth statement. But I have more than enough time. Both of them have to do with time. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lorelei Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Huh? Detective Atemy was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lorelei Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. This is the third, so fourth. Hold it! About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you?
I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lorelei Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lorelei Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered.
I see. Looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. So, this alibi is false. It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullock at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Okay, so now what does it want? After pressing both statements, press 3. Okay, so 1, 2, is this 3? Oh, no, that's 4, right? Hang on. 1, 2, and this is 3. A photo contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be one. But hold it. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is. That's it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime?
Surely even you understand by now.
Lorelei Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullock. Unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? You bet there is. Let's say, let me see. Is it, you bet there is? Yeah. I'll say. And apparently it says it's the paint. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Oh. Is it because the box ain't covered in paint? I guess we'll see after he explains it. Very well then, let's hear what you're about to say. What about this photograph? Do you find funny? Paint splotches, it said, right? Yeah, hang on. So, here. Take that. The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain. Oh, blood! Now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint? And peach colored at that? From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. You know, let's say it says present the statue. Oh, because why was the statue moved? Like, the statue should have been there at that time. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Yep, okay, I see. Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? Take that. It's supposed to be the statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
Objection. But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner.
Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. Happened something. It's quite larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance.
Huh. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night?
Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? So it's who? Let me check the guide. Hang on. Luke Atemy. I was about to say, is it Luke? I guess it obviously had to be him, yeah. So it says his profile, okay. So he moved it. The one who moved the statue was none other than Luke Atemy. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what base do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. Oh, okay, so it makes sense. Like, who else could have moved it? Him, because he was the only person down there when it happened. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright? Hang on, let me save. It's been a bit. I mean, I have the guide, still. What reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Huh? Luke Atemy, you pretended to be Master Mats to create an alibi by showing you were at Lorley Taylor that night. Huh. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. The sword. Because either, like, I think he may have killed Cain Bullard with the sword and used it to knock out Ron Delight. And then he threw the sword on the ground and he had to push the statue out of the way because if anybody saw the photo without the sword, they'd be like, wait, where'd the sword go? Ah, it's the sword. A single fatal flaw?
Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist?
Oh, where does it exist, though? I might be wrong. Present the upper left time plate. Okay, the time, apparently. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? I still feel the sword has something to do with it, too. Like, again, I guess the idea is, why is it that time if he had to move the statue or something? Like, I mean, we'll see. I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Yes, please do. I don't really get it. On the night in question, Luke Atemy went to KB Security and murdered Cain Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lorley Taylor at this time. Well, I mean, there was, like, a whole thing where you can get there in, like, 30 minutes, though, I thought. Maybe that'll come into play. We'll see. Oh, my God! He wouldn't have had enough time. I have no idea! But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was the statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well...
The statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. It was placed there in order to cover up the paint.
Exactly. Luke Atemy had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place.
What the?
Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Oh! So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Atemy must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. Okay. So he's basically saying he took that picture before, but then when he went to commit the crime, as soon as he saw the statue, he was like, shit, I gotta quickly move it. Because it would have contradicted everything he was doing. Okay. Damn, phone. Don't turn my phone on. Trying to keep my phone on. And that is why Luke Atemy had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. Yep. Order! Mr. Atemy, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. Objection! It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Oh shit, he's gonna sip it. Godot, I warned you about making me wait! Now put that coffee down!
My 11th cup? I promised to drink no more than 17 during the trial, which means I'm still good till the last drop.
However, the defense has a very good point.
Good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points.
Oh, you see this photograph is taken ahead of time? And that the statue is moved in order to make it match. It's a very interesting idea. However, one point that can't be denied.
Which is?
That it's only a possibility. And that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
That's very true! No way! Don't fall for that, Your Honor!
Hey, Mr. Damask.
Yes?
No funny business in your actions as Master Mask. No problem with you telling us your strategy. So, let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Okay. Finally move down. Okay. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box, and Zavary, it was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my car 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
That's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it?
Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Zavary? Very well then, Miss Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, so I think it was saying like 2 to 6. And again, the one that stuck out to me, obviously, was... I'll do it on this one. Yeah, obviously, this one stuck out to me. Because it's like, no. Because if you read the urn, it has no value. Well, let me be safe. Save. That should be right. Oh, no, it says Damask calling card. Okay, why the calling card? Except for the heist. Okay. Wonder why the card. I would have thought the urn there, honestly. Like, oh, the urn, because it's actually priceless. Mr. Atemy, if you really are Mask to Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course.
Is there a problem with that playing card?
Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Mask to Mask had written. Take good care of the spectacular urn. Now, the spectacular here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Mask to Mask could have known about this pattern. Oh, it's... Okay, it wasn't about the value, it was more about the paint pattern on the urn. It's like, okay, yeah, wait, how would he know it looks like with paint splotches if he's never seen it before? What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Wardley Taylor.
I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Wright.
The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn.
You can't be serious.
And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atemy had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Yeah. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, that's it. He's broken.
Nick, I think it's a little early for a victory pass.
Huh? Oh shit, he's got the coffee. Is this like his 16th?
It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days.
Conviction, you say?
Yesterday we all decided unanimously that this man was Mask to Mask. And now we're calling him the murderer? You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's a good point. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
You say that Luke Atemy was the one who killed Cain Bullard? Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
An excellent point. Huh? Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest?
Nick, he's getting his second wind.
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron tonight, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder.
The only one with any motive we've seen is Ryan the Light. Isn't that right, Detective?
Indeed, according to my own research, that boy's motive is clear.
Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were.
I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Motive for murder. I, Luke Atemy, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Beauregard who wrote this blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy.
So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant?
This blackmail letter was found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
What? Blackmail letter updated. Found in his room, and it was written by Bullard. Oh dear.
Very well, Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination.
Okay. So it says presented statement 3. What does it say? It was Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it says apparently blackmail letter. Okay. Objection! Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atemy? I will say, is this gonna come into play with his ring? Because again, in last part, he said, look at my red diamond ring! And in the blackmail letter, it mentions a red diamond ring. So are we gonna bring that up? I assume so. Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction?
No, we're a walking contradiction like you. Gets off saying things like that.
You're one to talk.
At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior?
Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright.
Alright, hang on, let me save. Just in case. Probably saved too early, but whatever. Oh, no, good time.
Show us the contradicting evidence in the contents of the blackmail letter.
Okay. Go on the jam. Probably look the guide real quick. What does it say? Present the news clipping. Okay. Oh, is there something wrong with the blackmail letter? Wait a minute. What does the blackmail letter say? Red diamond. But it's saying present the newspaper clipping. But it says it's blue. Alright, let's see what they have to say about it. Take it! Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Enamon, the stolen jewel.
What about it?
The problem is this jewel's color.
Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself.
According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day.
Red?
Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Anuman that Master Mask stole at all.
Oh my god, he didn't steal the tear of Anuman. Oh my god.
Objection. And your point is, Mr. Trite. So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite?
That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. Because he says he'll take that red diamond. Because, oh yeah, I forgot. I immediately forgot that detail. Bullard was the one who wrote the letter. So, okay. So that's the mentality we're supposed to be thinking. So he blackmailed Luke Atemy. He didn't blackmail Ron. He blackmailed Luke. And so that's why he had to kill him. Because of the blackmail. Take that! Naturally, it was you, Detective Atemy. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single mask-to-mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen. And received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel?
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring! That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you!
Order in the court!
Objection. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite.
Uh-oh, I don't like the way he said that.
Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke Atemy. Are you for real?
Yes, I am.
Nick, come on, stand up to him.
Then answer me this. Blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world.
Yes, it clearly does.
Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atemy's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. Oh, just what was that identity?
Atemy killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret?
This is what it all comes down to, Nick.
The identity that Luke Atemy wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as... Alright, let me read the options and see if I can guess. I want to say an ace detective. Let me see. As a blackmailer. Cause wait a minute. Cause yeah, wait, who's... Okay, yeah, I see it now. Cause like, who's blackmailing Ron Delight then? It's Detective Atemy. And then Detective Atemy was getting blackmailed by Kane Bullard because he figured out the scheme. Hello, Wi-Fi. Go away. Get out of here. Go away! Okay, I think that's it. The blackmailer. Luke Atemy was a blackmailer!
Objection. Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atemy. Are you saying that Atemy was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit, that does sound a little odd.
It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atemy. But Rhonda Light was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident?
Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Anumon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans.
Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Rhonda Light was actually Master Mass?
That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plan and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was not other than Luke Atemy. Oh my god, it was Luke Atemy the whole time? Jesus! Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong?
How did you?
He actually guessed it right. You say that I, Luke Atemy, was blackmailing Ron Delight? In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime armor, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime.
Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise.
Oh, shit.
In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atemy know that Rhonda Light was Master Mask?
Wouldn't it be the newspaper clipping? Because Ron, I remember, he said he threw his costume in the dumpster. So he must have, like, found it. What's this say? Yep. I knew it. I was right. I just wanted to check the guy's face, but yep, it was a newspaper clipping, because I do remember that detail. He said, during my first heist, I threw away my costume in the dumpster, and I disguised myself as a security guard. And again, in the newspaper clipping, the guard in the back is actually him. I remember that. Oh, nice. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention.
What do you mean?
This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true!
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atemy. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delight.
What the? Was he supposed to be Master Mask?
Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective.
I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer.
What a fraud! Trying to pass him off as a detective!
Why, you? How dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you? How dare you even dare to imply conventional blackmail? Why none of yourselves? You really? I say none of you can compare to Jesus. None of you trying to me. Covers there. Ace detective who handle blackmail and murder. It's enough to make me laugh. Christ.
It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atemy.
Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atemy.
Objection.
Oh, shit.
Hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared for my ruling.
Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright.
What do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atemy was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder.
That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull.
But there's still one thing you have yet to prove.
What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB Security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way!
Oh my god! Mr. Goda, he never gives up so easily. Oh, jeez. Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright?
This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atemy was at Mr. Bollard's office on that night.
But can you really prove that?
That's long enough, Mr. Wright. I want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Atemy was at KB Security, and the defense... Can we prove it? I'd say we can. Let me make sure, though. Okay, can we prove it? What does it say? I can't prove it.
Shit! We can't!
I can't prove it.
Just as I thought. Oh my god, Phoenix Wright couldn't even prove it! What a loser!
But if we hear more of Detective Atemy's testimony...
Objection. Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean.
What?
Have you forgotten? Luke Atemy is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Master Mask.
No! Well now, sir lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ex-detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness...
Oh my god! Order in the court! That's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is...
Don't give up now, Nick! We still have tomorrow! We can look for more evidence and...
By then, it'll be too late.
Huh? Why?
Double jeopardy, one of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy?
defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts.
Well, what a stupid rule.
And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else.
Mr. Atemy will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Master Mask, which means...
He will be innocent as far as the murder of King Bullard is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atomy's guilt of that crime here makes that he will never again be tried as King Bullard's murderer.
Oh man, Phoenix Wright sucks. Jesus. It's like this happens to him every time. Now there's nothing I could possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atemy, will go free.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there is no more testimony, I am afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
Object, Phoenix. Object! Object!
Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atemy.
Objection! I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you?
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice! No way! Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! This is the true power of the Karikan channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me. But right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ex-detective as well as Master Mass. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace-detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, Luke Atemy...
Let's hear it.
Huh?
True that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
Goddamn! Mr. Godot, what are you wearing? Very well then, Mr. Luke Atemy. I am going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Ooh, there's a lot of testimony. Okay.
Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph read. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron DeLine. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zavarine! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy.
It says press on the 9th statement. Okay. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well.
The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course!
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. I like he calls us sir lawyer then.
I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
We cannot postpone Luke Atomy's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Probably don't need to save here, but still, better be safe. Hang on a sec. Just one chance.
It seems that the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix,
There isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony.
so it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is your last chance. This is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it.
Number 17. The last cup. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
Oh boy. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find a contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance.
Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Let me get my popcorn out. This is getting exciting. The last testimony.
Alright, let's save here. So yeah, it says press on the 9th statement. Wonder why. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. Hold it! Mr. Atemy, about this last remark.
Objection. You still don't get it, do you, Wright? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Atemy, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. Let's say, what's the contradiction? I'm guessing
how did he know Ron DeLite? Like, okay, yeah, that's a contradiction. He knew that the one coming in the office was Ron DeLite. How did he know he was gonna come in his costume? Like, again, who came in was Master Mask. And obviously we know Ron DeLite's under the costume. But how did Detective Atemy know that? Unless he was the one blackmailing him.
How do you say that?
Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atemy? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. DeLite was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit. Is that correct? Okay, yeah, that's it. He referred to Mr. DeLite. Even though it's like, how would you know that was Mr. DeLite? And how did you know he had a mask-to-mask costume?
Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof.
More like your deductions prove that you're a fool.
I'm sorry, whatever do you mean?
For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron DeLite was dressed as Mask-to-Mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was,
Was just a few hours ago. My sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare.
Did I ever get to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now.
That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. So yep, that's the contradiction. How did you know Ron DeLite had a mask-to-mask costume? Because you're the one blackmailing. Therefore, the only person who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atemy? There is no way that you should have known about that! Yeah. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Mask-to-Mask. So then, enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information?
Objection! Come on! This detective must have known about it! He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
Objection! And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. DeLite was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit. There is one and only one for Detective Atemy to have found that out. Only one?
You say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. DeLite's testimony.
When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
But Mr. DeLite never saw his attacker. There's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atemy.
Objection! It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. DeLite saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn this statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron DeLite.
Impossible.
Oh my god, it was him. Detective Atemy, you saw Mask-to-Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron DeLite. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Oh god, he's gonna explode. Phoenix like, oh jeez.
Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
That's the same line you gave yesterday.
Yeah, I was about to say. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. God, what a psycho.
What an awfully complicated incident. Came board was blackmailing Luke Atemy, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmail, Luke Atemy tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. I said crime instead of crime. His true crime.
And to that end, he came up with this plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. Who's Oh, I think I know who it is.
At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me?
I came personally close to bemerging the record of this young man. Bemerging him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me!
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be?
About the verdict.
I know. You never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm so glad you understand that. But I really am Master Mask.
Huh?
So, thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it.
I've been careless.
Careless?
What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent? It would seem so. For now.
For now? Now that this court finds the defendant not guilty.
Party! Yay! Yay! Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all.
He's trying to say, no, wait, I'm still a criminal. You gotta arrest me. God dang it, Ron. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh. I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Greek and channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother, Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia.
Mr. Wright! I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this is right.
Come on! Just be happy already!
Maya!
You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot!
But in exchange, I lose everything.
Huh? What do you mean?
Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason. For her.
You mean your wife, Desire?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
So, that's why you became Mass to Mass.
Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together.
That's not true, right, Nick?
Right.
Really? Can we go back to the way things were?
You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it.
I can. I kind of wish you would check with me first. Uh-oh, hang on. I need to get the guy. What is it? I don't want to get this wrong. Mr. Light, even if the bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. Is it literally the urn? Okay, we're back. Yep, it is the sacred urn. I thought so. Like, he kind of laid it out there. You put the pieces back together. Here you go. Take that. Alright, there we go.
The sacred urn? Daisy was the one who found this.
Desire, your wife, she always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are. Excuse me. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what's going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Mass to Mass either.
Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you?
Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he would ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous.
Chivalrous?
I knew I was right about you. Every day I spent with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Daisy.
Desire, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy? Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy.
Go! I can feel my face turning red.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations!
Hey, Pearls. Yay. Oh no, we gotta get slapped again. Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick, how could you with another man's wife in front of Mystic Maya? No, you got it wrong. I'll never forgive you, never, ever.
God damn it, not again. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Wow, holy what? She slapped you into unconsciousness? Holy shit! She's strong as hell. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. That's cute. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. Nice. Yay! We did it! Woo! We finished episode 2. Let's get a preview of episode 3 and we'll call it apart. A brand new episode has been added. Nice. So this is called episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. I will say, I think I remember this case too. Isn't this the one where we get framed? Like there's like a fake Phoenix Wright, I think? Yeah. So let's see what he's all about. Alright, here we go. Save content. And then once we get to a talkie part, we'll call it a part. Okay.
That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts.
It wasn't me, I swear it wasn't me!
The evidence and testimony we have seen and heard are conclusive. The victim was alone at his table when he drank from that table.
No! You're wrong! I know what I saw! I saw! I don't know who's talking, so this just improvised voice.
I saw someone else there! A man! He's the real killer!
Oh shit. Who could that spiky-haired man be? I only know one spiky-haired man, so it's clearly Phoenix Wright. He's the only one that would do this. The monster.
Why won't anyone believe me?
Uh-oh.
Well, I'd say that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you? Mr. Wright? This court finds the defendant guilty. This court is adjourned.
No!
Game over.
Well, shit. January. Wow, I was about to say, so it's been a while since we had a case. Holy shit, because that took place back in October. So it's been, let's see, October, November, December. Not that long. About 3 months, huh? Okay.
The start of the new year always makes me feel like I could take on the whole world.
I bet it does, Maya.
So, I decided that our resolution should be Salvary, take on the world. What do you think?
Sure, whatever, Maya. But I think maybe you've had more than enough mistletoe cake.
Never! You've got to eat a lot of cake during New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game.
Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe.
Happy New Year, Detective!
Likewise. Now this enough, right? I wanna...
Here's to another fruitful year to lawyer police cooperation!
Yeah, me too. All right, pal, you got some explaining to...
Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective?
I like this. Just interrupting him.
What? Well, here, have this. It's really nothing much, but...
Yay, thanks!
Look, pal, we need to talk. We need to have a talk. Take a seat.
Hey, what about Pearlie? You haven't forgot her present, have you?
Oh, no, I mean, yes, no,
Are you doing this on purpose?
you're doing this on purpose.
Guess I'm busted. How did you like my first practical joke of the year?
Very fine, pal. Now, let's see how funny you think it is when I show you this.
What is it? A magazine?
Hey, I want to see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict. Defense attorney Wright trounce.
Trounce? Let me see that.
The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance yesterday. What the heck is this?
It's a report, pal, about you.
Listen to this. Mr. Wright must take full responsibility for the ruling in this case.
Well, and don't tell me you don't remember anything about it.
But I don't remember anything about it. When was that issue from anyway?
December of last year, which I just mentioned last month.
Which makes it old news, you mean?
But I wasn't involved in a poisoning case in December.
So what do you think this is all about, Nick?
If it wasn't you, pal, then that leaves only one possibility.
No way. You don't mean
A
a phony, Nick?
must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke. Guess he's starting off the new year with one, too. Magazine Attitude Court Record. An article from December 5th says I was trounced and my client was found guilty. So, what are you gonna do about it, pal? What do you mean, what am I going to do about it?
Well, it's your fault that the judge found the defendant guilty in this case.
My fault? How do you figure that?
Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of.
Yeah, see what happens when you hotshots start getting too full of yourselves? I didn't do anything wrong. At least, not that I can remember. You better make this right, pal, now! And that means taking the case back to court, got it?
Sounds like we've got our first case of the new year. Let's tackle it with gusto.
I don't know. The judge already issued a guilty verdict once in this case. It's not going to be easy to get it overturned.
I guess this New Year's resolution is going to have to wait until next year.
So you're taking the case, right? Good. I'm gonna head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to your precinct. Drop by if you need something. Okay, pal? Okay, thanks, Gumshoe. Well, what a shitty way to start off the new year. I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. If a client trusted a case to me based on my reputation, I guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What sort of guy would do that? An asshole. Alright. Well, we're gonna have to find out the answer to that next time. So again, I hope you all enjoyed. This has been CB Ultra 768. I hope you're all staying inside, and I hope you're all healthy and feeling okay. And we'll be back with some more Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulation, and hopefully we'll be able to find out who this imposter is. Though I do remember what he looks like. I don't remember his name, but I do remember what he looks like. And I remember we're going to get introduced to a fancy chef character, which hopefully I'll have a good voice for him when he comes up. So, stay tuned for that, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.